by 4 Naga. It's
2
Filthy
Nerds.
We did it.
Oh man, we did it. That's so special. You guys, we have received feedback that we are known to talk over each other, and we want you to know that we are
Trying.
working on it.
We get excited. And
we get excited, and we also have this thing where I don't know if you guys can hear it or feel it or sense it, but Jess and I we understand each other comedically, so we kind of like get to the joke at the same time sometimes.
It's called chemistry.
It's called chemistry, and we think of things at the same time. So it's like our little addled ADHD brains are like
synced up.
Yeah, it's like periods, but thoughts and funny things, and we talk over each other, and we are going to do better.
That's what I was going to say. Also, as a reminder, you got 10 minutes of us blabbing up top. If you hate it, skip ahead. If you love it, let us know. Do you want us to do separate blabbing episodes? Probably not.
Here's what I want to say. In the past few weeks, I'm dating. I'm single.
She out there. Boys.
I'm out there. Girls. Dogs. Let me hang out with your dogs. So, I went out on a date with a guy who had veneers. I've went out on a lot of dates with guys who have veneers. A lot of people have veneers. Yeah, a lot of people have veneers.
A lot of dates with guys with veneers?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I've been out with men who have veneers.
Let me ask you this really quick. Have you ever been surprised to find out someone has veneers?
No, never. You know they're veneers.
Okay, that's just what I've never...
Here's the thing. You always know if they're veneers.
Never been caught off guard.
Yeah. You always know if they're veneers because they're too perfect.
Too perfect.
But here's the real problem with veneers, is when you get them too white. If you have veneers, please just get them a shade that is
off-white, tooth white.
Just a regular tooth, just teeth that you know if you were to go in a black light that you wouldn't be the Cheshire cat.
Yeah, where there's nothing but teeth. It's creepy.
Don't do that. It's distracting.
It doesn't
By the way,
look good.
I don't even remember what I talked about on this date with this guy.
He could have been great, but
he could have been amazing, but I was blinded by the light,
wrapped up like a tooth, another veneer in my sight. I don't blame you. I mean, it's almost as bad as someone having like a big piece of spinach in their teeth. It's just
it is distracting.
Although, maybe that was his goal. Maybe he knows he doesn't have that many interesting things to say, and he's like, I know what I'll do. I'll get super white teeth so no one's listening anyway. And they'll go, I think I had fun.
I'll give her the high beams.
And then he's like, good night.
I mean, thank God he didn't try kissing me.
Good night.
Very nice. Haven't spoken to him since. And we're good.
We're good. You gotta try new things. It's not easy to find a person you want to settle in with for a while or for life especially. So sometimes you got to fight tooth and nail to get the kind of person.
Fight teeth and nail.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
I just don't understand. I have so many people in my life who are quick to let me know if I fuck up and if I'm doing something that's not great. Do other people not have that in their life? Do other people not have friends or family that are willing to say, before you even ask for an opinion, to just give their opinion?
Oh, you mean are they surrounded by comedians with no boundaries?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you only have boundaried people in your life who are letting you just get away with having a bright white grill?
Well, here's the problem, is that is such an expensive endeavor that if you don't get that feedback beforehand. I would say for me, I like to believe myself to be a friend that is too honest with telling people when they fucked up. But I think that there is a price threshold where if someone gets
don't let me know. I've already spent too much money.
I'll just
interesting.
Pretend not to see your facelift, even though it's haunting.
By the way, how long ago did you get your Botox?
My Botox?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
are we not talking about that?
Since I guess we're just getting to the nitty gritty.
Wait,
what Botox? I'm 20.
Doesn't everybody get Botox?
No. Does everybody get Botox?
Yeah, I don't know one person who doesn't get Botox.
I got it last Friday.
Okay.
So this is Wednesday, so it's been 5 days.
Okay, it looks perfect.
It does?
Yeah. It looks so subtle and perfect. I really, really like it.
The lady did a good job. Nurse Marissa, you guys,
I'm
in
going.
LA.
I'm going
Santa
next
Clarita.
week. I'm going next week for a top off.
A top off? What's that?
Nothing. It's just. It's what I like to say. It's like you're going to a
An
gas
oil
station.
change.
Yeah. I'm getting just a little more bow to soften the appearance of Father Time.
Yeah, you know what? Here's what I really realized about why I started getting Botox. It's less about, I'm not saying it's not about, I'm saying it's less about wanting to remain youthful looking. There's a little, of course. We have to be on camera all the time. I'm editing all these videos and I have to see myself, which nobody likes on their best day. But really what I want Botox for is to hide my judgment. Because I can't hide my judgment of people. And what I realize is there's a thing, I'm sure anyone listening to this, especially if you're a woman, you are someone or you know someone who has what we call resting bitch face. Where they go, no, I just look like this. I'm actually having a good time. I don't have that. If I look like a bitch, it's because you're doing something stupid. And I feel like in Hollywood, you have to be like, that's a great idea. And
You must be
I've had
really
11
good.
since I was 5.
It's really funny. 11 since I was 11.
Yeah.
I've never thought of you as a deep 11 person.
Really?
I really don't think of you as also maybe because maybe you are judging me and you're just not showing it, but I've never been like, oh, she's giving me that face.
No, you're an intelligent person. Trust me. When it's
for
happening,
the dumb.
you'll know.
It's for the dum-dums.
Or when I don't answer FaceTime, it's because I know I can't hide it from you. But you know what? I recently started doing more auditions or self-tapes, and maybe it's more to do with lighting and makeup and me not being knowledgeable enough in that. Or even Instagram videos. I've started doing more characters, and that's when I noticed them lately. I did this housewife on Labor Day character, which I had so much fun with, and she's very much like, oh my God, and she's complaining even though she doesn't have a fucking job. And in my mind, I can't make myself have more plastic surgery, but I drew on bigger lips. But I had fucking
11.
It felt like they were this big.
Yeah.
And obviously we're all more critical, but I'm like, damn, they're just turning into horns.
They're just the
Getting
Twin
horny.
Towers.
Yeah, we got to take them down.
It's the 9/11.
Just Botox can melt some beams. Anyway.
With that said, love yourself. Try to love yourself. And if not, get veneers, get Botox.
Yeah, don't get veneers.
Get all of it.
There's nothing wrong with getting it. Get a friend who can be an honest soundboard and go, is this too much? Is this...
I just can't believe somebody would get bright white teeth and be like, this is the move.
Maybe they want to look like a psychopath.
I would love more than Fat King anything to see what his teeth looked like before.
Maybe they were somehow worse.
They were probably terrible. No one's getting that much veneer.
Yeah, you're overcompensating.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably had such a hang up about it. I bet he had really yellow teeth or really stained. Why does anyone get veneers? Just to get nicer teeth? Some people have small teeth.
Some people have terrible teeth and then you get veneers and it helps. But, there's people like Matt Rife has veneers and I think his teeth look great.
He has teeth? I never noticed.
Yeah.
Can't get away from those eyes.
He is just a gorgeous human.
He looks like someone who was drawn to life by Sarah J. Maas.
Yeah. He should be cast in this book series when it goes to TV.
Oh, you think he should be Tamlin?
He could be Tamlin.
Could be Tamlin.
Not mad about that.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense to me, actually. Because he's a good Tamlin.
I mean, he's the only character we can talk about right now. So, yeah he's Tamlin.
He's the only thing we can cast.
Tamlin. Matt Rife.
Matt Rife for Tamlin. Why not? Really quick, what's an account you've been following that you like that's book?
Oh, it's...
Oh, fuck, we were just
she's
talking about
Wellness. Her name is Wellness.
The Wellness Warrior.
The Wellness Warrior. She has... Hold on, I'm going to play it
We're
now.
We're going to play the audio of this video. That's so funny.
So the meme is the kind of fantasy my husband thinks I'm reading. Ready?
Pulled me in close and gave me a big kiss. And then we lived happily ever after.
And then it cuts to what she's really reading.
Me in my and grabbed my and my I'm your daddy. grabbed me by my waist.
I think that is so funny. I don't think men realize how hardcore Sarah J. Maas is.
Yeah, how hardcore it definitely gets, especially later in the series.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I do think they just think we're reading about, the running on a beach and we
Like,
embrace.
oh, and then he lays me down and he beds me.
Yeah, and it's like, no, we're getting the nitty gritty.
So stay tuned for nitty gritty in coming soon.
Coming soon.
We'll be coming soon.
Yeah, I want to share it. I'm sorry, we're running a little bit over, but I did see one of the memes where it tells you the spicy chapters, so I think maybe I'll repost that on our Two Filthy Nerds page. Send us any memes you like at Two Filthy Nerds on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe, leave a rating, leave a review wherever you're listening or watching this. And really quick, my book recommendation, Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. Listen, you give me a Lucy Foley book, and I'm all over it. She does these incredible murder mysteries. It's very like Agatha Christie, multiple different viewpoints. But what I love, and can't recommend enough if you've read her but you haven't listened, try an audiobook because she writes chapters from perspectives of different characters. And in the book, they cast different people.
Oh, amazing.
But it's not like, remember we listened to those, like tried to listen to the graphic audio version of, and it was like music and they're setting up this whole thing. It's not like that. It's just different voices.
Yeah.
And it really just adds an extra je ne sais quoi. Anyway, quick break from our sponsors, and then
the book. Let's get into it. Okay.
So if you listen to the last episode, you know where we left off. The Suriel's dangling. For Naga are approaching. We are in dire straits.
So action's fast and furious. The Naga are closing in, and the Suriel's like, "Free me!" And then Feyre, there's a lot of action going on.
She screams.
Feyre screams because she's like, "Tamlin's gonna hear me. Lucian's gonna hear me."
She's like, "I don't know if he'll get here, but
she's like, I'm gonna scream.
At least be like, hey,
She's gonna scream and she's gonna fight. She's not going down without a fight.
No.
So she never does. Shoots the bow, sets the Suriel free.
It's so wild. She like shoots the bow.
Very suspenseful.
I mean, and the Suriel's gone.
Gone. Poof. Evaporates like a fart in the wind.
And then quickly she
I don't know why I love that so much.
Fart in the wind.
And then she
so disrespectful.
And then she immediately draws her bow and shoots one of the Nagas. So one of the Nagas is down.
So we're down to three.
Three Nagas.
And then she is like, I gotta book it.
She takes off, stabs one of them in the knife with a neck. So now it's two Naga.
Thanks, Lucian's knife.
And then all of a sudden she hears like a roar and she's like, okay, that wasn't a Naga, that wasn't a Suriel, what the fuck was that?
It's Tamlin. Because look, she's been running and they are catching her, surrounding her. By the way, the water, for all it would do to stop a Suriel, does nothing for a Naga. On the Naga.
Naga are like, nah.
Yeah.
Gonna get ya.
Not gonna tell ya.
Not gonna tell ya.
Right as she's basically fucking brutally shot to the ground.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they like really hurt her. They pin her down. They don't actually hurt her, but they like.
No, but it's right.
She doesn't get roughed up. She also is like covered in blood, in Naga blood.
Yes, and it's just one of those classic like, oh god, it's about to be over, and then of course.
And then dun da da da. Tammy Tam Tams swoopy doops in.
Murder City.
In beast form. Not only murders, disembowels.
I just got so excited. Disembowels from the outside.
We love a disemboweling.
Not the way that Nicole's going to do as soon as the camera's off.
As soon as this is over, I am going to light up the guest bathroom.
Whenever I read someone getting disemboweled, I just...
Want to take a bowel movement?
I'm just imagining intestines going everywhere.
Yeah, that's what happens. And have you ever watched the Instagram account, Nature is Metal?
I didn't even know what Instagram account you were going to say, but I was like, no!
Nature is Metal. You watch animals disemboweling other animals all the time.
Oh God!
Yeah, and it falls out like ramen noodles.
Did any of them put it on like a feather boa?
They're like,
I'm the king of the jungle,
king of the colon.
Brought to you by, just kidding.
Brought to you by intestines.
So, all is well that ends well in this situation. Tamlin helps heal up Feyre and brings her back.
And then
we go to chapter 16. Right?
Chapter 16, we learn about Alice.
Yeah. First of all, Alice is, she almost immediately, I guess not almost immediately, but she's like, hey, by the way,
Just immediately throws a little bit of shade.
like, just fucking come to me.
Yeah.
Next time you need to know how to catch things like, I don't know, a cereal. Because if you think I didn't know what you were doing based on all the housekeepers in the kitchen being like, oh, she wanted fresh dead chicken. And it turns out the way that Lucian told her to do it is so much more difficult than it needed to be.
Yeah.
She's like, you could have just offered it a fresh robe.
Yeah, which, that is some Dobby ass shit.
Yeah, also the fact that this monster that when they describe the cereal, it's like all teeth and veiny and in a veil and like very like I'm picturing spindly, you know?
And
the
all of a
fact
sudden
that it's eating raw chicken, but then would also be like, ooh, a fresh robe.
Ooh, where did you get that? Is that
Hugh Hefner, but eating fresh like with chicken bones
with a pipe, just a tobacco pipe? What do you want to know? Now that I've got my robe, I'm here to give you the information.
What can I tell you, kid?
So Alice tells her the story about how her sister and her sister's mate were murdered 50 years ago, and left two children behind, and she raised them. I don't know why it was important for her to tell them.
Well, because Feyre was talking about how she wanted to help her family, and Feyre kind of rudely, not knowing she was being rude, implied like, well, you don't get it because you don't have a family.
And she's like, bitch, what?
I have a fucking family, and we don't know where they are, but they're far away. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like, I don't know if it's super important to the story, but it's kind of her being like, by the way, yeah, like, I actually do get it.
Here's what's really, really, really important that was established in this chapter. Lucian reveals to Feyre that fairies can, in fact, lie.
Yeah, she goes to dinner, and by the way, he says she looks nice.
Uh-huh.
He's like, oh, you look lovely this evening. I think just trying to be like, considering you
almost got.
And you fucking sneered a goddamn cereal. Yeah, and then it's just so funny, because up to this point, she's been acting from the point of choosing to kind of trust them based on thinking they can't tell lies.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, we made that up. It's just like the iron thing.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Oh, iron's not real. He said, but the ash arrow is.
Yeah, which you obviously already know. Yeah. You killed our friend.
Yeah. So Tamlin, again, offers to Feyre, hey, I'll help you write a letter to your family. And she was like, why are you being so nice to me? I'm a human. And he's like, yeah, we've been known, we fought with humans. We fought side by side with humans.
Apparently
that's how humans survived as long as they did.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, do you think humans just, like, won part of the war? It's because fairies fought alongside with them, and I don't know. It is just kind of this moment of, I don't know, another little notch of him being sweet. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there's so many moments where I'm like, it vacillates between being condescending and him being sweet. And it's this push and pull, which I'm like here for. That gets me a little horned up.
Push me, pull me.
Push me, pull me.
Choke me, daddy.
Yeah. He is, the sexual tension that is built.
That is
every
really
time he's nice to her, I'm like, that was fucking. Or you might be
That's just a reflection of our self-worth that he's being nice.
Why are you being so nice, daddy?
Yeah, and he basically, okay, so I know I fucked up, and in the last episode when we were talking about him just touching on the vow subject, this is actually the part where he says,
by the way, I glamored your family's memory. They're really great. I made them rich again.
They know that she's okay.
She's taking care of
she's a sick aunt.
A long-lost sick aunt.
So I'm like, okay, you can just glamour people to just think new people exist? That's crazy.
And so all the memory of like whatever horrible stuff, like him bursting in, him taking her away, all of that has been completely wiped away. No, that is important. Put a pin in that. That is very important to know that he glamored their memories very specifically to not remember what had happened when she got snatched away.
Yeah.
So he deleted an old memory and then made a bunch of new memories.
Yeah, she's like, you fucked with their memories. Like, I just touched them up a little. Did a little photoshopping on their memory, so to speak.
And then she says, hey, now that my family's taken care of and my vow has been fulfilled, I really want to paint.
That's what's so funny. She's like, I I get. Well, I mean, it is. What's interesting is I do want to talk about that a little. Also, he does tell her I gave them some way of knowing if there's danger to run.
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
Oh, that was nice. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. But what's interesting is.
Oh, and he told them about the blight as much as he could.
Yeah. Basically, just gave them enough information to know there is something. So keep an eye out for signs. Yeah. That you might need to head out.
Yeah.
Which it is so nice.
Yeah.
Also, I want to talk about the painting thing. Don't you dare bark just because someone's coming home. So, she has this moment before she goes to him and, reveals, oh, well, maybe I'll try to paint. Where she kind of is like, what do I do with myself? And I just thought that was such an interesting and relatable moment.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm thinking of anyone who's had to caretake or moms with empty nesting, where your whole identity is wrapped up.
Hi. I had a sick dad for 18 years, and when he died, I was like, I don't have to go home all the time.
It fucks with you.
Oh yeah.
You just, without even realizing you've made it part of your identity, it just becomes part of it. And then when that work or need to do things or be there and show up in that way is alleviated, it's, what should be in a way, obviously with a death, that's extremely sad, but it should come as some sort of maybe a weird relief.
Oh, it was.
But it's a mind fuck.
A complete relief. What I remember vividly, my dad dying and being the saddest I have ever been in my entire life, but also experiencing this sense of relief for him, for me, for my mom, for my brother, for all of us, for every person in the family, that it's just oh, it's over. It is you don't have to
you don't have this worry.
You don't have to worry anymore.
Yeah. Another thing to go wrong.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
What's even more crazy?
You just kind of blew my mind with that.
Well, let me blow your mind again, and this is just inside us, but ironically, you also started painting after that. You hadn't painted the entire time I knew you.
Oh my God, you are right. Holy shit.
I didn't know that you liked to paint.
I love to paint, yeah. And my dad died, and then I started painting.
And let me tell you, her home is covered in paintings.
Covered. I have so many.
Does anyone want to buy a painting? We should do an auction.
Yeah, you know what? And by the way, I recently started doing watercolor, which is even I can just make little paintings all the time. It's terrific. Wow. Mind blown.
Yeah, it's just,
wow.
If anyone's comfortable, by the way, sharing, have you had a moment where someone moved away, you moved to another phase of your life?
You no longer have a massive family responsibility.
Yeah, and did you come back to or find something that you didn't realize you enjoyed doing that was an outlet?
Wow.
Because it is if I had the time, if we all had the freedom, what would we do?
Wow.
And it's we can't all do everything.
Mind blown. Mind blown. Totally blown.
Anyway, back to Feyre.
Final chapter of this episode.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
17.
We didn't mention he is oh, you like to paint? I'll have the gallery fixed up. A gallery?
The infirmary, the study, the gallery. What's next?
It's been closed off. I didn't want the servants to have to clean it. So there's just these paintings collecting
what
dust.
A burden.
And also the fact she's already mentioned these gorgeous paintings she's seen in the hallway. So who fucking knows?
Yeah, we're about to find way more. Anyway, so he's I'll get you what you need. She's I don't want to be a bother. He's no, don't worry. You can have the West Wing. Paint over there.
This feels a lot of this part of the book feels very Beauty and the Beast.
It does feel very Beauty and the Beast.
There's even a part.
This is, by the way, how I'm picturing where they are.
Yes.
That whole house, I'm picturing Beauty and the Beast
That's
level
something
house.
Sweet. And there's a part where Tamlin smiles at her, somewhere in this area. He's not the Beast, but I picture, if anyone remembers the animated version where the Beast tries, I think they have him practicing smiling, and he's
oh, I remember that.
Anyway, chapter 17.
Chapter 17. Okay. Feyre wakes up to screaming, and Tamlin is running in with this injured fairy that has had its wings cut off.
Yeah, we come to find out he's from the summer court. It's he's blue-skinned, tall, has long black hair.
And he keeps saying, she took my wings. She took my wings.
Yeah, he's like crying and in severe pain.
And Feyre's like, this she again.
Yeah,
The she. Noted. The
we've
she.
heard Lucian
Who is
mention.
the
There's, we keep alluding to some fucking woman.
So that's something Feyre puts a pin in that.
By the way, I sobbed. Did you sob reading this?
I cried. I for sure cried.
I was hysterical. Just
the part that I cried the most is when Feyre. Basically, he's dying, and Feyre's like, "Can't you do anything?" And he's like, "No, this is too major." He's like, "Maybe when my magic was full power before the blight, I could have."
But Tamlin can't save him.
And Feyre like takes his hand, and she's just like there with him while he's dying, and he's like, "I lost my wings," and she's like, "You'll get them back," and he's like, "I will," and she's like, "Yeah," and he goes,
"Do you swear it?"
Yeah, and it like she gave him this hope, and it was so beautiful because like. I think we all want hope, you know? We all want hope that everything's going to be okay. We all want someone to hold our hand and tell us that it's going to be okay. And
I'm holding her hand in case you're just listening on audio. Nicole, it's going to be okay.
It's going to be okay. And it was just really it was such a very, like, beautiful moment. The thing that really killed it for me was this.
Oh, no.
The way Sarah J. Maas describes it, where she has Feyre as this character that's so acutely aware of everything about Tamlin that the way she describes Feyre, it's like Feyre can't even just not be aware of Tamlin. So Feyre's here, let me find it, hold on.
The glasses are off.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what she's scanning for.
Hold on.
For those on audio. Because I'll probably forget.
Okay, here's this is the last paragraph. Ready? So the fairy dies. She's with Tamlin. This horrible, crazy thing just happened. And the last paragraph she writes, I watched him, watched every movement he made, the muscles of his body visible through that blood-soaked tunic. Watched that invisible weight bearing down on his shoulders. He didn't look at me as he scooped up the broken body and carried it to the garden doors beyond my line of sight. I went to the window at the top of the stairs, watching as Tamlin carried that fairy through the moonlit garden into the rolling fields. He never once glanced back. And it's like...
Are you supposed to look back and wink at you?
Yeah.
But also, like, his body, muscles through his blood.
She just went through watching a fairy get its fucking wings ripped off and then bleed out like a water buffalo. And she's like, I could feel his eyes upon me as I held the fairy's hand. Bitch, why are you holding his hand? Are you holding his hand because you want Tamlin to, like, take it in?
Yeah. Look at his flexing pecs.
Feyre's a little bit of a narcissist. It feels like she's just, like, she's a pick-me girl. Like, she's got real pick-me energy right now.
Well, to be fair, he literally did pick her.
Yeah, he did. But she does have pick-me energy of, like, oh, look at him, I'm holding my hand. It's like, give me your hand.
I love it.
She's like this. She's like, are you okay? You're dying. Don't worry, you'll get your wings back. It's just so like...
She's looking at Tamlin. Okay,
just keeps...
I feel like you invented that part.
But it's like so annoying to me. But the Sarah J. Maas doing the description.
Of his body.
She ropes you in this like crazy emotional experience. And then at the same time, she's like...
Don't forget how hot Tamlin is.
Don't forget about his pecs.
Don't forget about this muscly man filled with magic.
He's got a bloody tunic clinging.
I thought it was... I did think, because he's like, why did you do that? He asked her.
Yeah, that was rough.
She's like, I would want someone to do that for me. I wouldn't want to be alone. I don't think anyone wants to be alone when they die.
Yeah, that killed me.
And then he flexed his butt cheeks and sauntered out with a dead fairy on his shoulders and hoisted
And can you believe it? He didn't look back once.
He's like, I need to do this alone. Just pressing the dead fairy.
He's just curling the fairy.
He's very large.
He's like, this guy's really heavy.
He's got to be a 250.
She's like, I felt the weight of the burden of the fairy upon his biceps. He was curling. Can you believe it? The guy can curl 200.
Thank God his wings aren't on here. They probably weren't that big. I bet he had small wings. I was getting insecure.
Which, by the way, talking about the size of the wings, knowing what's to come, is so funny.
What is to come?
You guys,
Indeed.
that was it. That was the end of chapter 17, and that is the end of our episode.
Join us next time. Pause. We will tell you what chapters. I'm saying pause.
We're doing from now on. We're doing 3 chapters at a time.
Oh, is it always 3?
It's always 3 chapters at a time.
Oh, well, fuck my face and call it a face. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if for next week, if you want to listen to both episodes, listen to 18 through 23. Remember to follow us at Two Filthy Nerds. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you're listening on this podcast or to this podcast. Please, 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 if you're on Apple Podcasts or if you can do it on, I think you can do it on Spotify, go leave us a rating and review. It helps us. We show up in the algorithm more. And also, thank you for listening. We charted in several different places. We're still charting in Sweden and Australia, which...
And I'm charting right now.
Yeah, Nicole has charted her pants because she Chipotle'd earlier, and that's... charting is Chipotle charts. And honestly, Australia didn't even know you guys read. So, we're kidding. Please don't abandon us. We love you. Keep reading. Keep listening. Hit us up.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Two Filthy Nerds production.